Hello, and welcome to the Stitch Circle Show Challenge 2026. If you're new here, a warm welcome to you, and if you've been here for a while, also a warm welcome to you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, find the playlist. Under the video here is the little word saying more. Click on that and find the link to the playlist for this challenge. But shortly told, once a month, the first Thursday in the month, I come up with a Dogma rule challenge for you. And if you want to participate and be a member of the Facebook group because you want to do the challenge, there are also links the same place. And everybody else I'm mentioning that you will find links here under the little word more. I have chosen to put my embroideries for the month in a book like this big book here. There also is a link for making such a book, but it isn't a must. You can do with your samples or your swatches or your embroideries, whatever you want to do. You can give them a little extra around and sew them together so you can make a wall hanging. You can put them in a box. You can buy a sketchbook, or if there some of them you like more than others, you can frame the single ones. So yeah, there are many things you can choose to do, but I know I will just keep them here as inspiration to look at. Yeah, I can just quickly flip through here. This was January, and February with the inspiration, March, April, and here is where May, and May is what we are going to, I'm going to do is today. So I will just remove that so I am ready. So the conditions with the fabric and the thread are exactly the same. You choose your fabrics and threads and colors exactly as you want to. I won't interfere with that. The only thing I will ask you to is to have a background piece of fabric that is 25 by 25 centimeters. And I think it is about 8 by 8 inches. That is the base we all start with. So I will just quickly say my name is Lisbeth and I'm the host for this challenge. I do many different things, and again, look at the playlist. You can find whatever interests you, if it's slow stitching or sewing or jelly printing or book constructions or mixed media. Yeah, I do many different things, so find what interests you and skip the rest. And the last little pip I want to say, and I don't like to talk much about it, but I have a Ko-fi account. So if you want to support this challenge and on my work on it, on my work here with making all these videos here on YouTube, you are able to by using the link you also will find here below under the video. Yeah, I think that is all I want to say before I tell you what the challenge for May is. So here we go. I have my piece of background fabric, and it's just some plain cotton in this color, and this is the piece I have been using all the 4 other months and will use the rest of the year. So I pre-cut all 12 of them and have them sitting here. I will just move this big book here. It's on. I keep hitting it here with my elbow. But in May's month challenge, it is about fabric weaving. So the rules are as following. Cut 2 by totally 20 strips of fabric that is 25 centimeters long, and they have to be between 2.5, 3 or 2 centimeters wide. You decide. You shall end up with having 6 strips that way, and if they aren't totally even in size, you can also choose to make them 2.5 centimeters, all of them, because then it will be 25 centimeters. But if you have a leftover strip that's only 2 centimeter, make another one 3 centimeter, and that would be the same. So 10 strips for going that way, and that is the warp, and exactly the same for going this way, and this is the weft, and also 10 strips there. And I will show you in a second how to weave them and how to do it. And when we have been weaving all these strips together, we will have a new surface here on our substrate fabric. And then we have to invisible baste it, so you have a little control over it. And in every little square that comes when we have done the weaving, we have to do some stitching. But I will tell you what that is when we reach that part. All these rules here will be under the video to read, and they would be in the Facebook group also, where I make a post with a picture of the finished one and how to do it. And there is also a PDF with the full description in the Facebook group. So you can apply that group if you want to be a member and show what you have been doing. Don't apply if you don't is going to participate. The group is for active members who wants to do the challenge. Yeah, but I have already pre-cut or ripped my strips. So I have 10 strips here, and you can see this one here. Yeah, where is my ruler? It is here. This one here is only a little under 2 centimeters. So I have another one that's a little bigger, for instance. But you can play with them how you want to place them. But I will, and it important, no overlapping here. They have to lie side by side. And I have this felt substrate here, so I will just poke a needle in it here. So now it is sitting there. You can also take a glue stick and give it a little dab of glue in the top here if you want to. That is also an option. And so I will just line the next one beside here again. Put a needle in. Next one. And there's some there. This is a fabric I have dyed myself with walnuts. The thing that's sitting, when they are green, you can make ink, and you have like a big fat brown mess left when you have done the ink. So I just squeezed it out on my fabric and got this lovely brown color. And this piece here is a piece of an old sheet, and this is it's a little too short, but I hope it will go okay. It's a piece of I call them barley or Bailey fabric. They are very lovely fabrics, and I really like the patterns and the colors of them, but they are not always very nice to stitch into. And here I have a piece. Oops! There, I was nearly knocking down my tea. I have a glass of tea here beside me. You can always also dip your fabric in tea. For instance, if you have a very, I can show you here. I think I have it here. This fabric was screaming white, and black, and I have just dumped it in tea, and then you get this color. So it isn't so harsh. So that's a way to treat fabrics you think are too harsh in color. And it doesn't have to be white. If you, for instance, have a screaming pink one you don't like, dip it in tea. There. And the next one, that is also a piece of barley fabric. Needle in here. And, this next one you can see here, this is a little bigger in size. And a needle in. But it's important that the 10 stripes you are going to make is ending up being 25 centimeters. And don't just do 6, do 10, because that is where the nice patterns will get, so we have something to stitch to. And if you don't have so many different, as for instance I have, use the same ones for different places. That doesn't matter. It's not about having as many different fabrics as possible. Use what you have there. And this was the last one, and now I can try to measure it and see if I didn't end up with 25 centimeters, or approximately. Yeah, a little over is mine, but I don't think it matters. So this was the warp. So now for the weft. And you can see again I have my strips here, and I have prepared them like this. And I have put this one this way because you can see here number 2 of my strips is very narrow. So I know I perhaps will have to use all of this, or only, for instance, a part of it. It was the widest one I have. So again, I will just do it like this. Every second one I sweep back here. There. That was not the second. This is the second. There. And then I will take my first strip again, place it here, up here, and perhaps I end up what do I do? In fact, I really wanted to go right up here to the top. So the only thing I can do that is by removing that and put my pin in there. Put that in there and place that again here, like that. Remove my pin and put that up to the line here, and put my needle or pin in again. There. Here. Remove this and put my pin in again, and here it doesn't matter. There. There and there. think I will put a little there. There. And this has to be under, so that is fine here. And I will just check that they aren't overlapping. So I think it is fine there. Again, I will remove the pin and just place it here. And I will do exactly the same to the end here. So now you can see this is over, and there it's under, over, under, and so on. And it is sitting very nice. And I think I got it rumbled around, so yeah, it is a little more than 25, but I don't care. So I will take my next strip and be ready. So now I will do the opposite. Here it is under, so now I will sweep that up every second, up and up with that, and up with that, up with that, up with that. And how you, yeah, only this one, not this one here. And again, I will take this here and place it up to here. And if you want, we can always cut these off afterwards if they are too long. And then again, I will place it down here, and you can put a needle in here if you want to. Oh, this one is, I want this side up. I will fix that so I get this side up. That is more interesting. So here we go again, just flapping these down here and here. And now you have the second width. So now you can put a needle in here also if you want to. Yeah. So every second this is over. So now this is this one I'm flipping up. And the next second one, and this one, and this one, yeah, and this one. And I will take my next piece here. This skinny one here. Just place it there. Flap it this one down. Flap this one down. Flap this one down. This one. And this one. Nothing difficult in this. And I can put a needle in here. And a needle in here. So now I'm flipping this one up, 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 and not this one. Take the next one here. Go as close up here as I can. And flip these down. And doesn't it already starting to look very yummy, yummy? There and there. And put needles in there. And and there. So I will do a couple of more until I reach this one here, and then I would think, yeah, it would have been easier if this one was the last one. Then I could just do it in the width I was missing, but I have chosen to put my strips from light to dark. So you will see this end up, it isn't very dark, but it ends up being a dark corner, and this will end up being a very light corner, because I was going from light to dark there, and now I'm going from dark to light here. But we will see. I will put the next two strips on, and then I will eyeball it and see how much I need to cut off this strip here. I have just placed them here, and you can see my fabric is ending there, and this is the last strip I have here. So if I place it there and do it like this, I can see I have so much fabric, too much. So I know I will have to cut so much of this one. So I will just do that, cut something of this one, and you can do it with your scissor, or you can do it on with your rotary cutter. I have a mix of both torn edges and cut edges, and yeah, you do what you like. This is the way I secure that I have all 10 strips here, and I have cut this one little piece off here, and now I hope it will fit. So I will just place them here, and again backwards with this and this. If you don't have so long strips as 25 centimeters, of course you can sew for instance two together. That is also an option, or some of them could be sewn together. It really doesn't matter, as long as you use colors you like. I think that is the most important thing. So here, down with that, and flip these 2, 3, 4 down here. So now I will just weave the rest. I think you got it now. And if I place my things here, 1, 2, no, it is not the right colorway, but yeah, and you can see now it fits. Yeah. So I will weave the last 2 strips and be back. So done with the weaving, and here I have put needles the right way and not just letting them poke up like this. And I would do exactly the same here at the top. Put my needle in here. Just remove the one that is sitting and put it in. And if you have been gluing, you don't need to do all this. Then they will sit there. If you glue, I would also glue there and there and there and there every time you change row, so your piece will be secure. That is also an option, and perhaps it is easier than all these needles here. But I will do this all the way here, and then I can lift it up, and then we can invisible baste it down. So I just put a couple of extra pins here, but I don't think you need to do that. So now I can lift it, and I am ready to stitch. So I will just take a normal thin machine sewing cotton and find a needle, and then I can invisible baste it down. And yeah, I don't think I want such a long thread, so I can go all the way around, then my thread will be enormous long, and it would probably end up with knots on it. And I don't like knots where they aren't supposed to be. I only like knots when it's French knots and that kind of knots. And then I would make a knot here. I think somebody called it a quilter's knot here, but I don't know if that's the right term. In Danish we call them bussemandsknuder, and somebody translated it to snot knots. Not a very nice word, but that is what we call them here in Danish. So I will just come up here, and I think I will pull you in a little closer. Don't get dizzy. Take us as the free ride in the circus here. So you just come up, and then you go a couple of threads back and go about a centimeter ahead of you. There. A couple of threads back and about a centimeter ahead of you. And there would be the tiniest, smallest dots, but that's okay. And I will cut this clean, all the edges clean when I'm done with this. Or I think I would do it as the last thing, because maybe it's fraying, and yeah, I think I would do this as the last thing I'm doing. Yeah. This is also, for me, I have known this stitch for many, many years, because I have been a part of I have not been sewing very much of my own clothes, but I've been a part of a local amateur theatre union here where I live, and there I learned it from an elderly lady, and translated. If I translated the Danish words she was calling them invisible seams. But I know, because I have seen other people talk about it in in English, that it's called the prick stitch, and that is perhaps a good word for that, because you have these small pricks here. But sorry, I'm losing my voice. I will need to have a sip of tea. But I will do this all the way around the 4 sides, and then I will be back. So done with the basting, and I just kept a couple of needles in. If you think it's too flimsy for your taste, you can always invisible baste every row down, or you could go like this or like that. But yeah, it's up to you. But since we are going to trace our circle here and sew something there, it would secure it again. So I don't do anything more than this. But you can do that if you, for instance, have a bigger piece than this. This is manageable. But if you, for instance, had a piece that was 1 meter by 1 meter, it could start getting floppy and wonky, and you would need to baste more. But I don't think I need it here. But sometimes things happen and you're too quick, because I know I said I would cut it clean before I was totally finished. Then I would have nice clean edges. But that's impossible, because I want to trace my circle, and I want it slam bam in the middle. If you don't care where you put your circle, that's up to you here. That's my template. But then it's nearly impossible for me to see where to center it when I have all these things, extra things hanging there. So I will cut them off now, even though I said otherwise. And then I will trace my circle again. So I will, yeah, you don't need to see me cut all these extra thing off. I will do it from the back. And I think I will just take my big fabric scissor and do it. I don't think I will do much here in this side here. Yeah, you can see it. Just here and here. So I will be back when I've cut it clean. So now it's cut off. So, and let me see how much it ended up in centimeters here. Yeah, 25.5. And yeah, 25. So it's a little wider than it is in the height, but that's okay. So you have to decide which way you want up and down, but you don't have to decide that right now. But now I have my tin plate here, and that's my deep plate here. So I will just center it the best I can, and then I will take my graphite pencil and go light so you don't move around with your strips. And you can do it a couple of times. We will cover it totally so you don't need to have anything that would disappear, like a pen or something. You can use here a normal pencil or what you have. Yeah, I can see this very clearly here. And away with that. And now I will find a thread I think I can see clearly, and I will go for this color, but I know I have a spool going on, but it's another place in my house, so I go and get that. But here is the brand for this. Many have asked me about it. It is mercerized cotton, and the brand is Venne. It's Dutch, and here you can see it is NM34/2 or NE20/2. That's the way you know how many meters they are, or per kilo. That is what it means. And you buy them in 50 gram spools. There are a lot of different colors. Yeah, you can see here. It's my box with these colors here. Yeah, but I will get my thread. And then this month here, I want you to sew chain stitches all around here in the traced line. And there's probably several ways you can do it, but I can show you how I do it. I know other people do it differently, but it ends up looking the same. So you just do it like you're used to do it if you know to sew the chain stitch. And I think I will. Now you're in for a roller coaster again. Here, let me see if that isn't okay here. But you come up and you go down in the same hole, and you come up yeah, 0.5 centimeter or 4 millimeters or so, and you whoops. Now I have taken a long thread, and that is because I'm lazy. And you go in the loop, and then you have the nicest little drop shape, and then you go into the same here hole again and come up in the line into the loop there. Take a color you think that is pretty visible on your fabric. That's why I've chosen this dark one here. Yeah, perhaps you could. I don't say you have to use the same color all the way around. For instance, if I can see when I come over here that it isn't very visible, I could change it. That's also an option. There are so many ways you can do things. and we only have one life as far as we know. So yeah, but that is all I will be doing for now, and you don't need to see all this sewing here. It always is a little awkward for me because I don't sew like this when I'm by myself. I don't sit on the table like this and holding things like this in this way here. So therefore it looks like I'm a little clumsy, or yeah, and it takes me a little longer also because I have to keep an eye on this. But normally when I sit in my sofa or my couch in the evening and do stitching, I have this fabric on my thigh. I don't use a hoop, only for some very specific things. I don't like to use a hoop. But if you do, you could probably put this in a hoop. Why not? But I will stitch here. Another thing I want to say, you probably wonder why I have this, and thinking, oh my, you have for the next 3 lives, but I don't. I think I'm right now is onto, I use a lot of black because you could use that for so many things. But I think I'm onto spool number 5. I have been using for these years here where I have been sewing a lot. So you can say it's okay to buy these spools, but I know you can buy them in smaller sizes also, so you can perhaps start with them. But it's an incredible nice thread to sew with, even though it is meant for weaving. I ain't getting paid, or they don't know, that company, that I'm saying all this, and but I know DMC is a very good quality thread, but I can't stand using with these 6 threads and you have to divide them, or then they are not lying nicely beside each other. And there's nothing wrong with the thread, it's me there's something wrong with. So that's why I like this thread here, because it is good to go and lies really nice, and it's smooth and shiny, and I love it. You can get it in so many colors. Yeah, I think I have you can see here, these are all the colors you can get, and that is perhaps not many compared to DMC or other brands, but I think it works. But I also use other threads, that's not the only thread I'm using. Yeah, I will sew this and be back. So the line here in the circumference has been sewn with chain stitches, and yeah, I will have to do something there to go, because it's just hitting the frayed edges, and yeah, it doesn't look nice. But you can see now it is sitting sorry, nice and flat, and the weaving isn't running anywhere. I have different thoughts about what to do here inside the circle, and the thing I was thinking about first doesn't work, so I have saddle a new horse. So I will go for this stitch, and again here what can I say? I have this Danish, it is an English book translated from English to Danish, and this is the stitch I'm going for, but with even more spokes than this. And here, translated to Danish, it is called star stitches. But this isn't a star stitch. If I have my other embroidery books, a star stitch isn't done this way. In my opinion, this is an eyelet stitch. And again, this person who probably has translated this book didn't know about embroidery and perhaps just thought it looks like stars, and they look like stars. So, but there are several of these misunderstanding in this book here. But it's a star stitch, eyelet stitch. You call it what you will. It will probably not come if you call it, but that's the stitch I will be going for in every of my squares. And my plan is to use 6 different colors, from the darkest, this one, to the lighter, 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 and lighter, to use these 6 colors. So this I will use in the light fabric, and this I will use in the dark fabric. You can do whatever you will. You can make different colors in every little square. Do whatever you fancy to do, but I think I would do that. But now you're in for a ride again. Yeah, I have already been making 2 of them, and I know the book is perhaps doing it a little different than I am, and I don't think it matters because they come up in there. But I will start in the middle, and I will just make a cross first. Then I have something to steer after. And in the beginning it isn't very difficult, but at one point it's very crowded in the middle, and you must just hit the middle the best you can. And I can call them spokes or legs, that they don't have to be totally even or the same length or anything. But that is all I'm doing, going from out and into the, yeah, you can say hole in the middle, but there isn't a hole, it's just very crowded there. And do as many as you can fit in. Don't just make 6 spokes, make many more, so it is nearly filled out, this little star thing. And you, of course, probably will have to twist and turn it, and so it must be. On the other side with the thread there. And if you don't hit exactly in the middle, don't take notice of that. But do the best you can. So again, yeah, and there's a pin there. I think I can remove them now. Don't need them anymore here. Whoops. Yeah, and now I'm out of frame. Yeah. And there are no rhyme or reason in the order I'm doing this in, except for the first cross. So that's just because I like to have something to hit or go after. I can put a picture of the drawing in the Facebook group, but make more legs or spokes than on the picture. Now I'm out of frame again, so do I need a little more? Can I fit more in anywhere? Yeah, perhaps here. Down in the middle, and you have to do it a little. I think this one is fine. So I will make a couple of more of them, and at one point you can say in there you can't make one. You can make one there and there. You can't make one there. So you will have to see where it is. You can make one there. There it's nearly possible, and there it is impossible. But you can figure that out. It depends on where your circle is placed. But they look like that. Quite totally wonky, but that I do like. So I will make a couple of more and be back. So now I have been sewing with the darkest color in this area, and now I have taken my light color thread and started here over in the dark area, and then I will move my way in. But I figured out the easiest way for me to stitch this stitch, and again I will pull you in, is to make like the first cross, and then I just go yeah, not clockwise, opposite of clockwise, back clockwise. and there's a thread there in the hole, and up here, and then I just move around like a clock. And I don't count how many, but after I've made the cross, it's about five stitches to make it quite close. So it's not difficult, it just takes a little time, and that is why we have a month to do this. So I'm excited to see what color scheme you all are going in for. So now I only miss a third here. Oh no, not a third, a fourth here of this. For me it's the easiest way to do. Perhaps it isn't for you, but then you do what is the way you work. No nuts, please. No nuts, please. Yeah. I think I could go for one more. There, that must be enough. There. They look really nice here, I think. So I will drizzle them on here, and I think I will stop now and sew tonight in my couch when I'm looking telly, and tomorrow probably I will be done. It takes a little time with this, but it's okay. Just a little peep here before it gets too dark. I have changed here to the light yellow, the white one and the white yellow, and here I have a little lighter than this color I started with. So all in all, it's looking like expected, and I like it. So I will sew here tonight and can do this video finished tomorrow. Okay, so here it is. I'm done and I'm really pleased with it. I know I can keep on finding some small threads, but that's the nature of weaving with the raw edges. But I really like the look of it. And yeah, it's also my color scheme, so it isn't perhaps so strange. But I will glue it here in my book, and I will take some close-ups at the end of the video. I have shown you this before, but I will show it once again. Perhaps there's someone new here. I glue my pieces in my book here with wallpaper paste, and I have a bucket of it here, and it has served me well. And you can say why use wallpaper paste, but you can glue fabric on paper, and if you want to remove them later because you want to do something else with your pieces, you can very easily lift them off and you won't damage your fabric or your paper. That's why. So I will center it the best I can, and I think that is fine there. Then I will just lift that up, and then I will spread the paste out here. And yeah, of course you have to put something on, but don't put a big fat layer on. That is not needed, and then it will probably seep up through the layers of fabric. Just a smooth thin layer like this, and then I will just flip it down here, and then I will do the same here. And flip it down here and just dab it a little. I think I will. It isn't seeping through, but it is getting damp, so it perhaps buckles a little, but it will lie flat when it's dry and I put it under some pressure. And if you think you need a little more here on the corners, you can just give them that. That's all. So now this has to sit here and dry. This was May's Stitch Circle Show Challenge, and I really hope you find it exciting and you want to do it yourself. But promise me, if you do, use the 10 strips both ways, so you will have a lot of small squares to stitch in. And promise me also to do a lot of these eyelet star kind of stitches where you use a lot of spokes. Don't just do 6 or 8. You have to really fill them out to get this look here. What colors you will use, that is up to you. You can go totally circus crazy or rainbow crazy, or you can use natural colors. You can use fabric you have dyed yourself. You can use whatever you fancy to do, and place the small eyelet stitches where you want in the squares, but one in each square, and go what colorway you will do it here. But I hope really you have been inspired and think, oh, I want to try that. So if you do and you want to join the Facebook group, all the links are, as I said, below here. But else I would say, please give my video a thumbs up and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. I would appreciate it very much. And also you can hit the notification bell, then you know when there's coming a new video up. But these videos here with this Stitch Circle Show Challenge is the first Thursday in every month this year here. And now I will just say, please be playful and creative, and take care of yourself, and not but least of all, please be kind to everybody. That's all for me. See you perhaps in June. So bye for now.